the Valley of the Kings, a place steeped in history and mystery. It was here in 1922 that archaeologist Howard Carter unearthed a discovery that would capture the world's imagination. Hidden beneath the sands lay the tomb of Tutankhamun. King Tut, as he would become known, was a young pharaoh who ruled for just a short time. His reign was brief, but his legacy would be anything but ordinary. Carter's team carefully excavated the tomb, revealing a treasure trove of artifacts. Gold, jewels, and intricate artwork filled the chambers. It was a sight that had not been seen for over 3,000 years. The discovery was monumental. It offered an unprecedented glimpse into the wealth and splendor of ancient Egypt. News of the discovery spread like wildfire. The world was captivated by the boy king and his opulent tomb. Excitement and intrigue surrounded the find. But whispers of something darker were also beginning to surface. Ancient legends spoke of curses protecting the pharaohs in the afterlife. And soon, tragedy would strike those who dared to disturb King Tut's eternal slumber. George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon, was the financial backer of Carter's expedition. He was there on that fateful day when the tomb was unsealed. He too was swept up in the wonder and excitement of the discovery, but his joy would be short-lived. Just a few months after entering the tomb, Lord Carnarvon fell ill. He had been bitten by a mosquito. The bite became infected. His health rapidly deteriorated. Within weeks he was dead. The official cause of death was blood poisoning, but rumors began to circulate. Some whispered that it was no ordinary mosquito bite. They claimed it was the curse of the pharaoh, exacting its revenge. Newspapers seized upon the story. They drew connections between Carnarvon's death and the ancient warnings inscribed on the tomb walls. Fear and superstition began to grip the public. Lord Carnarvon's death was just the beginning. A string of unexplained deaths followed in the years after the tomb's discovery. Those who had dared to enter Tutankhamun's resting place seemed to meet untimely ends. George J. Gould I, an American financier, visited the tomb and died shortly after from a sudden illness. A.C. Mace, a member of Carter's excavation team, succumbed to a mysterious fever. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, who x-rayed the mummy of Tutankhamun, died of an alleged poisoning. With each death, the legend of the curse gained momentum. The public was captivated. The newspapers fanned the flames, publishing sensationalized accounts of the deaths. The story tapped into a primal fear. It spoke to the power of the unknown and the dangers of tempting fate. The curse of King Tut had been unleashed upon the world. To understand the hold that the curse had on the public imagination, it's important to understand ancient Egyptian beliefs. The Egyptians believed strongly in the afterlife. They went to great lengths to prepare their pharaohs for their journey to the underworld. Tombs were not just burial places, they were seen as homes for eternity. They were filled with treasures and provisions for the afterlife. Inscriptions adorned the walls, meant to guide and protect the deceased. Some of these inscriptions contained warnings to those who dared disturb the pharaoh's rest. These warnings were not to be taken lightly. The ancient Egyptians believed in the power of curses. They believed that priests could invoke the wrath of the gods upon those who desecrated sacred ground. While some dismissed these curses as mere superstition, they held a powerful sway over the ancient Egyptians. The early 20th century was a time of great change and upheaval. The world was still reeling from the horrors of World War I. People were looking for escapism. They were also hungry for news and information. Newspapers played a crucial role in shaping public opinion. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb provided ample fodder for their headlines. The deaths of those associated with the tomb were too sensational to ignore. Reporters and editors, perhaps eager to sell papers, seized on the story of the curse. They connected the dots, weaving a narrative of ancient magic and modern-day misfortune. The more they wrote about the curse, the more real it became in the public's mind. The legend of King Tut's curse was born out of a perfect storm of ancient beliefs, modern anxieties, and media sensationalism. As the years passed, the scientific community began to weigh in on the alleged curse. Experts offered more rational explanations for the deaths attributed to King Tut. They pointed to the unsanitary conditions inside the tomb. Thousands of years of dust and decay had created a breeding ground for bacteria and mold. These microorganisms can cause a variety of respiratory problems, infections, and other illnesses. Inhaling these pathogens could have proved fatal, especially to individuals in frail health. Some researchers propose that the tomb may have contained dangerous molds or fungi unknown to modern science. Others suggested that the ancient Egyptians used toxic substances in their embalming practices, which could have lingered in the tomb's air. While these theories are difficult to prove definitively, they offer plausible explanations grounded in science. If King Tut's tomb was truly cursed, then surely everyone who entered should have succumbed to its deadly power. However, this was not the case. Howard Carter, the man who spent years excavating the tomb, lived for another 16 years after the discovery. He died at the age of 64 from lymphoma, an illness unrelated to the curse. Many others involved in the excavation lived long lives, defying the curse's supposed wrath. These survivors provide compelling evidence against the supernatural claims. Their longevity challenges the very notion of a curse indiscriminately targeting those who disturbed the tomb. The stories of those who lived long lives after entering the tomb often get overshadowed by the more sensational tales of misfortune. It's important to remember that correlation does not equal causation. Just because some individuals died after visiting the tomb does not mean they were victims of an ancient curse. The story of King Tut's curse is inextricably linked to our enduring fascination with ancient Egypt. Egypt has captivated the imaginations of people for centuries. From the pyramids to the Sphinx, the symbols of ancient Egypt evoke a sense of wonder and mystery. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in the early 20th century sparked a wave of Egyptomania around the world. People became obsessed with all things Egyptian. They flocked to museums to see the artifacts from the tomb. The curse of King Tut tapped into this cultural fascination. It played upon our desire to believe in the supernatural. It offered a glimpse into a world where ancient magic held sway. The story resonated with people because it spoke to something deep within our collective psyche. The human mind is naturally drawn to patterns and explanations. We crave order in a chaotic world. It is no wonder that the idea of a curse appeals to us. It offers a simple, albeit unsettling, explanation for seemingly random events. Curses provide a sense of control in a world where we often feel powerless. They allow us to believe that there are consequences for our actions, even if those consequences are supernatural. The story of King Tut's curse plays into our deepest fears and desires. The curse serves as a cautionary tale, warning us of the dangers of tampering with forces beyond our understanding. It reminds us that some mysteries are best left unsolved. The fact that the curse persists, even in the face of scientific scrutiny, speaks to the power of belief and the enduring allure of the unknown. Despite the compelling stories and media hype, it's important to approach the legend of King Tut's curse with a healthy dose of skepticism. While the deaths associated with the tomb are tragic, there is no concrete evidence to suggest that they were the result of a supernatural curse. The more plausible explanations lie in the realm of science. The presence of harmful bacteria and mold inside the tomb offers a rational explanation for the illnesses and deaths experienced by some individuals. Furthermore, the fact that many individuals who entered the tomb lived long and healthy lives casts serious doubt on the existence of a curse. Correlation does not equal causation. It's essential to separate the facts from the fiction when evaluating the claims of the curse. The Curse of King Tut is a tale that continues to fascinate and intrigue us. It is a story that has been told and retold for over a century, evolving with each retelling. While the rational mind may dismiss it as mere superstition, the legend endures. It serves as a reminder of the power of belief and the enduring allure of the unknown. The Curse of King Tut may not be real in the literal sense, but it has become a cultural phenomenon. A story that we continue to tell ourselves because it speaks to something deep within the human psyche. The mystery remains. Was it a curse or simply a series of unfortunate events? Perhaps we'll never know for sure, but the legend of King Tut's curse will undoubtedly continue to capture our imaginations for generations to come.